The next 48 hours are very important for crypto and for the stock market. You see, new CPI data is coming out on July 13th, 2022. And depending on what is said in this report, that is going to dictate what Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve are going to be doing later this month with regard to inflation and interest rates. Are they going to increase 50 basis points, 75 basis points, potentially even 100 basis points? So this is going to determine what is going to happen with Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve, and that is why we need to take a look at what is going on with this data, what is expected. We're going to go over both the positives and the negatives, and also we're going to cover some very important information about Ethereum and Cardano, so make sure to stick around for that. First thing is going to be with U.S. inflation data. So on July 13th, 2022, we're seeing CPI data come out for June of 2022, and in this report right now, it's expected that we are going to see an 8.8% increase year over year. If we see anything worse than this, that is not going to be good. That is going to potentially influence Jerome Powell and the Federal Reserve to increase interest rates at an even faster rate than what they had previously said, which was a 50 basis point hike or 75 basis point hike. So we want to see this number be less than 8.8%. If it's less, that would be a very good sign, and that should mean that markets have bottomed out and we should start seeing them rally a bit higher. If it is worse than 8.8%, let's say we see 9 or 9.5%, that would be very bad for not only crypto, but also the stock market, as we could potentially see Jerome Powell increase interest rates at an even faster rate than that 75 basis point rate hike, which they had talked about. So keep an eye out on this. We want to see less than 8.8%. I want to quickly interrupt today's video to bring you a word from our channel partner, Fairdesk. Fairdesk is one of our longest term sponsors on the channel, and they are a cryptocurrency exchange that offers up to 125x leverage. This is the platform where I have currently been doing a lot of my leverage trading as of recently, because they have a very simple and easy to use platform that really provides investors with access to the global crypto markets. Some of the features that I personally enjoy and use the most on Fairdesk are three things. First is that they have a simple mobile app with great charting features if you like technical analysis. The second is that they also offer leverage trading on dozens of the top trading cryptocurrencies. And the third is that they have easy access to short or long any of your favorite cryptos. If you sign up for Fairdesk today using the link in the description, you can get up to a $600 bonus when you deposit $100 or more. So if you're interested in trading crypto specifically with leverage, I definitely think you should check out Fairdesk. Remember, leverage trading is high risk, high reward, but I think this platform is definitely worth checking out. Anyways, let's get back to the program. Next thing I want to talk about, though, is going to be with what is going on with Bitcoin. Right now, a couple of important things are happening with Bitcoin that are also very indicative as to where the market is. We're seeing right now that Bitcoin is still in accumulation phase, according to multiple on-chain indicators. And as we've spoken about in many of our past videos, we talked about how Bitcoin is either at the bottom or very close to it. And in our video just the other day, we talked briefly about the 12 multiple, how it is in the buy zone. And every time it has been in the buy zone in the past, that has indicated a pretty close, within about a month, to where the bottom of the market is. We are there right now. We're in the buy zone. The other thing that we didn't talk about is something called the MVRV Z-score, which measures the deviation of market value from realized value and is an indication as to, is Bitcoin undervalued? Is it overvalued? What's going on there? And right now what we're seeing is that this MVRV Z-score is in the green, the buy zone as well. And every single time we have seen it in this zone in the past, you can see it has correlated almost exactly to the bottom of the market. So, like I've said in previous videos, these indicators are very promising for right now where Bitcoin is. And is why I am continuing to buy. The one thing is, the one caveat, the one thing that could change all of this is what goes on with that inflation data and the Federal Reserve. Because if they increase interest rates at a faster rate, that would have negative impacts on the market. But as long as nothing bad or surprising happens there, we should be at the bottom. And that is why I'm continuing to buy, because regardless of if Bitcoin drops a little bit more, more, or if it starts to rally within the next couple days, this is a price that I am very comfortable at buying Bitcoin at. Next thing I want to talk about, though, is going to be what's going on with Cardano, because Cardano sharks have scooped up 79.1 million ADA over the last 30 days. So since the middle of June, right around June 9th, 2022, Cardano holders with between 10,000 ADA and 100,000 ADA have accumulated 79.1 million tokens, about $40 million during that time period. So in the last month, they've added 79.1 million ADA to their wallets. And this is important because this is a reversal in the trend that we have seen over the last few months, as we have consistently seen a lot of sell-off taking place for whale accounts, small accounts, all across the board for ADA, whether you had less than 10,000 or more than 10,000 ADA. We had seen a lot of sell-offs across the board because prices have come down so significantly. So now that we're seeing a change in this trend, we're starting to see whale accounts start to buy back in. That is very promising for what we are seeing with Cardano, and usually leading up to a massive hard fork, a massive event for Cardano, we have historically seen a rally. So we could be gearing up for a big rally for Cardano's price, as long as overall market conditions and economic policies are still pretty neutral or a little bit better. If we see anything bad there, again, that has impacts and drags down the entire market, whether we're talking good news coming out, bad news coming out. If stuff with the economy isn't going well, it drags everything down. Other thing going on with Cardano is going to be in terms of technical analysis. When we're looking at its chart right now, we could see, let's zoom in a bit. We can see that right now there is a bearish flag forming, which could indicate that we are seeing further downside. The good news here is that we have seen Cardano's price maintain that support right around 47 cents, 46 cents per coin. That's the good news. Like, the one thing is like I'm going to continue to say, is as long as everything goes well in the economy, there shouldn't be any problems here. Yes, this is typically a bearish indicator, but because of what's going on with whale accounts, because of what's going on with them accumulating and buying more, and with the Vassal hard fork, I'm expecting to see a breakout towards the upside, which, based on historical trends, would be the unlikely play. If you're just looking at a bearish flag, usually you'd see a drop down to the a further drop down to the downside. But because of what's going on with whales buying, with the Vassal hard fork, I am expecting a breakout to the upside, as long as the economy and everything there remains relatively flat, pretty neutral. Last thing I want to talk about is going to be with what's going on with Ethereum. So what we're seeing with Ethereum is the amount of ETH 2.0 staked has continued to increase despite prices falling considerably from all-time record highs. And what we're seeing is that right now, the total amount of ETH 2.0 of Ethereum staked is 13 million ETH, which represents 10.9% of the total Ethereum supply. Why this is important is because what we have seen is that even when the market has been falling as of the last year, really, we've continued to see more and more ETH staked for the ETH 2.0 contracts, because a total of 8.02 million Ethereum, or 62% of what is now staked, was put in before the record high of 4,867. After that point in time, the remainder 38 to 40% of what is now staked was put in. So that means that even after that all-time record high, we're continuing to see more and more ETH being staked, which is very promising if you are an Ethereum investor. I am myself. I continue to hold a lot. I do have a lot of my ETH staked. So that is a very good sign that we are seeing that more and more people are continuing to stake their Ethereum despite market conditions. But let me know your thoughts on what's been going on with the overall market, as we're continuing to see a lot of surprising data come out for the economy. But hope you enjoyed today's video, and I'll see you guys in the next episode. See ya.